Yo, what is good YouTube? I am Richie Kim, and today I'm going to be bringing you all the performance review on the brand new Nike KD14. Before we get started, if you all enjoy sneaker content just like this, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below. But anyways, let's get right into it. As always, starting off with the traction, the KD14 features this curved line and oval ellipse pattern, traction pattern type thing. I'm really not sure how to describe this traction pattern other than it's just a bunch of lines that kind of curve around the entire space of the outsole. But let me tell you, the traction on this shoe is freaking amazing. Whether you're playing on a clean court or a dusty court, you really won't have any problems. If you're playing on those clean courts, you will be able to stop on a dime. It is really nice. And then, even on the dustier courts, you're still gonna have really great stops for the most part. I would say sometimes you may slide to a stop, but it's not really a big slide. It's just a very small slide to a stop. And yeah, the traction on here is really nice. Whether you're doing linear movements or lateral movements, you really shouldn't have any issues. And like I mentioned, if you are playing on the clean courts, then expect a really nice bite. Overall, the traction on the KD14 was really good. So moving on to the cushion, the KD14 features a full-length Cushlon midsole with a Zoom Strobel unit, and it is amazing. It's pretty much what you would expect after hearing those two technologies, being combined together. It's amazing. You feel the Zoom and then you feel the Cushlon. It's very plush and comfortable, and you get a lot of impact protection, but you don't lose out on any court feel and responsiveness. You feel really quick still, and I don't know, it's just such a good combination. It's a very comfortable shoe, and you're gonna get, like I said, the impact protection, responsiveness, court feel, pretty much everything that you would want out of a cushion setup, you're gonna get that here. The cushion setup in here is just really nice, very comfortable, very smooth. So if that's something that you want, then this has definitely got you covered. I really like the cushion setup in the KD14. So moving on to the materials, the KD14 features a multi-layer mesh, and I think it's 3 or 4 layers or something like that. And yeah, from a material standpoint, the top layer kind of feels cheap, I'm not gonna lie. It kind of feels like that felt material, but in terms of the performance, this thing gets the job done just fine. It feels very broken in right from the get-go, which is awesome. And it is soft, conforms to your foot very nicely. I do wish that the materials felt a little bit nicer to the touch, but like I said, this is multi-layered, so the top layer is the only layer that really feels like felt. Everything else just feels like, different sorts of mesh basically. And yeah, it gets the job done in terms of the performance just fine. Besides the felt feel of the top layer, I think they could have done a little bit better with the aesthetics of the shoe, just because they could have definitely played around with the materials a lot more to create a better design. But in the end, it is what it is, and it does the job just fine. As you move towards the back of the shoe, you do have a different sort of mesh, and it definitely feels better than this felt material. So I do like this material on the heel better. And then, on the tongue, you do have a very nicely padded tongue. It's just a mesh tongue, and yeah, you have the KD logo up here at the top. But yeah, it is nicely padded, so that's a nice touch as well. And then obviously, you do have this strap, so it basically acts as a medial cage over here, and then the strap crosses over onto the lateral side. Just helps locking your foot a little bit better. So overall, the material usage is pretty good. It could have been a little bit better. I wish they didn't use this felt material as a top layer, but it is what it is, and it gets the job done just fine. So moving on to the fit, I would say that the KD14 pretty much runs, true to size, pretty much like every single other KD. I'm a slightly wide footer, and I went true to size in this shoe. And let me tell you, at first, it is a little bit tight up in the forefoot area, but give it a little bit of time and the materials do loosen up as you play in them a little bit more. So as a slightly wide footer, I think going true to size is perfectly fine. Standard footers, normal footers, whatever you want to call it. I think going true to size is the way to go. However, if you do have wide feet to hella wide feet, you may want to go up a half size because I could definitely see some issues in the forefoot area. It may be a little too snug for you, so just keep that in mind if you do have, wider feet. Outside of that, I do feel like the materials do lie pretty nicely on my feet. There is just a slight amount of dead space up in the toe box area, but nothing noticeable and nothing bothersome. And then everywhere else just hugs your foot very, very nicely. You don't have like any heel sculpting really in the back area of the shoe, but it does hug your heel very nicely. So overall, I would say that the fit in the KD14 is really good. So moving on to the support, personally, I didn't actually have any issues with the support in this shoe. Like I said, you do have an internal heel counter, helps locks in your heel. You do have the strap, which actually does, it feels like it's securing your foot a little bit better, just hugging your foot into the shoe a little bit more. And then I didn't have any, side to side movement on the footbed, which is awesome because in the KD13, there were times where I did feel my foot slide off the footbed at times. However, in this shoe, I never had that problem, which is awesome. And then, as far as lateral stability goes, I would say that the base of the shoe is wide enough and the midsole actually does act kind of as an outrigger, so you are covered there as well. And then you also do have like this midfoot plastic piece for that midfoot stability, torsional rigidity and stability, as well as this like midfoot plate, midfoot shank plate right here. So you are covered on that aspect as well. So overall, I would say that the KD14 is a very supportive shoe. Personally, I didn't have any issues, so I don't think you all will either. So the KD14 retails for $150, and for $150, I would definitely say this is a solid pickup. It is the exact same price as the previous models, which is a good and bad thing just because, they technically removed some tech from the shoe. You aren't getting a double stack zoom in the forefoot or in the heel. What you're getting instead is this full length cushion with a zoom strobel. And in my opinion, I think that's perfectly fine. This cushion setup is really, really nice. The traction is really good. The materials, like I said, to the touch could be a little bit better, but it is what it is and it gets the performance done just fine. And then, yeah, the support in here and the fit in here is really good as well. So honestly, $150, they kept it the same price. And I think that overall, this is a better performer than the KD13. So I would definitely recommend you all pick up a pair of these. It's very comfortable, very fun to play in. It's just a really great shoe. And I don't think you'll be disappointed if you all picked up a pair. That's pretty much it for this performance review. If you all like this video, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below and smash that thumbs up button for me, as it really does help me out. While you guys are at it, check out this video on my left and on my right, and that's pretty much it. Till next time, peace.